Hey everybody, I'm in the studio and I'm rehearsing for a gig, and the gig I'm doing is a solo gig, and I'm going to be doing it as an acoustic and electric kind of thing. So I'm going to demonstrate how you can use a looper very simply and very effectively to get a good sound, get a groove going, that kind of thing. So I'm going to be using acoustic guitar and electric guitar. I'm using a Boss RC30 looper, which is technically two loopers in one. This isn't a review of the looper, I'm just using one part of it, so I'm using it as a single looper. So whatever looper you've got should be fine. I'm running it through my Roland Cube Street. There's a review of that up here if you want to check that out as well. It's a very good amp. So basically, the most simple thing you can do with a looper is to just do basic chord structures. You don't want to be getting into verse choruses and all that kind of thing, so anything bluesy, anything rock and rolly or 3 or 4 chordy is the way to go with the looper. So for instance, I'm going to take these 3 chords and what I tend to do as well, because you do have to be quite precise with the looper, you kind of have to hit it at the same time that you hit your first chord. I'll demonstrate in a second. But if you, before you do any looping, start yourself off before you record it, then you know you're in time, you'll get into the rhythm yourself. Also, a tip for playing acoustic generally and for looping is to be percussive, easy for you to say, with your playing. And what I mean by that is, so I'm kind of creating a like I envision a snare drum. So you're hitting it on a mute in between. Takes a lot of practice, but I digress. So anyway, so you have to hit it on the first chord, and then you have to hit it on the one again when it comes round, and now that's looping. Okay, so we'll stop the loop. Now that's recorded into the bank. And depending on the looper you've got, but most loopers you have an ability to overdub, so you can do more than one loop. You can like put layers onto that loop. So with this particular one, now I would do like something percussive. If you hit an acoustic guitar sort of about 1 inch or 2 from the bridge here, mute the strings with the left hand, usually around the 5th fret is good, 5th to 7th, and then just hit it with your thumb sort of on the D string. You can get a nice kind of bass drum sound, or a cajon sound if you like. So if we start that loop again, put it in record, now if you wanted to, I'll just delete that last track. You can get a bit more adventurous with that. I would do something like this. So that's 2 layers you've got. So you've got a beat going and you've got 3 chords going. So now you're starting to get a bit of a rhythm. You could at that point just start the song off and maybe do a bit of soloing. And stuff like that. Or you can carry on building. What I like to do is maybe do a couple of layers at the beginning, do the first verse, and then do some more layers later on in the song and build it up. Something like with this now, I would maybe use the triads. So we've got a B minor, A major, G major, over the top. Now that's going in the background. Now if you wanted to, you could put a bass line on. Something very simple you can do as well, if you're doing like a 1-4-5 progression, rather than record the whole 1-4-5 progression, just record the 1 and then turn the looper off when you change to the 4, and then turn it back on when you change to the 1, and then turn it off when you change to the 5, etc. I'll demonstrate. So if you've got a groove like this, kind of thing, that's good fun. So you get a little bit of chance to do some solo noodling in between, or you can record the whole thing. But the problem with recording the whole sequence is if you speed up, it's going to notice. So keeping it simple is the way to go. I'll do something with a 4-chord and I'll demonstrate bringing the electric guitar in. You can put the electric guitar into this looper as well. It's got 2 inputs and 2 outputs, but for simplicity I don't normally do that live, because the more complicated you make it, the more chance you are going to muck it up, and you don't want to muck it up. So. There's our loop. Our beat. Another overlay. Another overlay. You can put the acoustic down. Remember to turn your volume off, otherwise it will hum. Then you can pick up an electric. And there you have it. One final tip I will give is, if you've got an output level on the looper, have it slightly under the input, if that makes sense. So what's going in is louder than what's coming out, because as you build the loops up, it will become louder and louder, and when you try and solo over it, you'll get lost. And that's it, really. And if you like this guitar, I built this guitar. I build guitars too. If you're new to the channel, you won't know that. If you're not, you will. You can check out the playlist. I'll put it in the description. I build lots of interesting guitars out of tins and oil cans and boxes and all that kind of thing, and I sell them. And this is currently for sale for £120. If it is still for sale when this video goes up. They do sell quite quickly. But yeah, check that out. Anyway, hope this was useful. If you like these kind of videos, then please like, comment and subscribe. Helps me out in a big way. See you next time.